Asshole Stories, Volume 9. So if you aren't familiar with Am I the Asshole, the subreddit describes itself as a catharsis for the frustrated moral philosopher in all of us, and a place to finally find out if you were in the wrong in an argument that's been bothering you. Tell us about any non-violent conflict you've experienced. Give us both sides of the story, and find out if you're right or if you are the asshole. So basically what I do is I read 5 stories, and then I kind of give my opinion on if the person's an asshole or not, and I'm hoping that the people in the comments here will also give their opinions, and maybe we can agree or disagree or agree to disagree. But without further ado, let's start. So, story 1. Am I the asshole for making a real-life pokedex of girls at my university? So freshman year of college, I began working on this project casually. I like to keep notes on women. I talk to them about their favorite things, activities they enjoy, gifts and candy they like, sappy shit like that. I suck at remembering things like that, so I decided to keep a spreadsheet. Eventually, after getting a handful of entries, I offhandedly mentioned it to my friend group. One had the idea that I share it with them so we could keep all the new entries as they caught different entries. So I expanded this further. Right now, about 40 guys have access to it, and it's mainly the guys in my fraternity. And the women featured are girls from different sororities. We also added more information, such as where you should take them if you really want to impress them. We don't keep this information for any nefarious or scumbaggy reasons. Just to help us know what to do if we want to impress certain girls. That's the reason for it. The original idea of this was just to keep information such as favorite color or something like that, so that I didn't forget their favorite colors. Well, now it's helping a lot of guys. Anyway, somehow a girl was able to find herself on the list, and she was pissed off about it. Eventually, she was able to trace it back to me, so I assumed that someone who was simping for her snitched when the pokedex wasn't making the girl like him. So she's pissed off, and she made it out to be some guide to hooking up with women, when it's most definitely not that. It's just to make impressing women on dates easier. That's it. She made a big deal of this by telling so many girls around campus, and now they're all saying that by the start of the fall semester, none of them are going to be visiting our fraternity or going to our parties. Now all the guys are mad at me, when I'm not even the one who told the girls about the list, and they were all also using the list. I also think it's unfair to say the list was about sex, when it wasn't at all. Am I the asshole? Also note, I'm not a stalker. There was no information in it that could have been used to hurt someone, only to have a better date, and it isn't about sex. I never used it for just sex. Okay, so that's a very, 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 very weird situation. I feel like you should approach dating from a person-to-person kind of perspective. I don't think that this list is even useful at all, this Pokédex, because it's gonna be different depending on who's asking the girl out, right? It just seems really weird. I don't know. I guess you'd be the asshole, though it doesn't seem like you're malicious, just very, 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 what would you even call that? Not naive, just oblivious. I guess if anything, you just really have to kind of put more thought into what would be considered very strange. Not gonna, I don't mean strange in a quirky way, I mean strange in a way that people might get the wrong idea. Now obviously I can go only off of what you've said, So maybe you're just saying that it wasn't for like sex and stuff like that, or maybe you're being honest. And I don't really know because I don't know you, but I think it was a very odd thing to do, and you probably shouldn't do that anymore. So, story 2. Am I the asshole for asking my Christian devoted friend for holy water? A bit of background. Me and my friend have known each other for years, and we're the same age, if that's important. I believe in God, but I'm not die-hard like my friend is. My friend's affiliated with a church, owns multiple Bibles, that sort of thing. My friend knows this about me, and is alright with it. Anyways, lately I've been thinking about holy water, and I thought it wouldn't hurt to have some. And what if I needed it one day? What if something goes wrong? I don't know what would go wrong, but it's like a contingency measure, sort of. I don't see any harm in it. So the next time I see my friend, I ask him to grab me some holy water the next time he has the chance, and I give him my reasoning as I stated. I know that he has connections to multiple churches and some of the higher-ups there, so I don't assume that it would be that hard for him to get me some. But my friend got really upset at me asking for holy water. He basically yelled, and he doesn't raise his voice often, and told me no before storming off. He hasn't reached out or anything for a week now since it happened. I wouldn't have asked if I knew I was going to get a bad reaction, and I honestly thought nothing bad would come of it. Did I do something wrong? Am I the asshole for asking that of my friend? OP, I don't know if I would call you an asshole, but you think that, you'd have some common sense. Do you get what I mean? I don't mean that in an insulting way. It's just that, come on. Why would you ask the guy for holy water? You even say, I believe you said in the story you were a Christian too. Yeah, you believe in God, you're a Christian. So come on, man. You know that you can't just ask for that stuff. Maybe if you talked to a priest and there was something serious, I don't know, you thought that you needed to be rebaptized or something, you could have holy water used for that, but you can't just ask for holy water for anything. What are you gonna do, run into some vampires or something? Come on. I don't think you're an asshole. I just think that you gotta, some people use their spidey sense, you gotta use your common sense. That's all. Not an asshole. Oh, even the title. Story 3. Am I the asshole for demanding a refund on drinks that I bought for a stripper? I regularly visit a gentleman's club in my area, and for the past few months, I've been seeing one particular dancer. Let's call her Tiffany. In addition to tipping her and getting dances, I buy Tiffany at least one drink every shift. She always requests the same thing: a screwdriver made with a certain brand of vodka. Last night, I went in and Tiffany sat with me as usual. I ordered Tiffany's drink from the barmaid and got one for myself as well. But when I sipped it, it didn't taste like there was any alcohol in it at all, despite having seen the barmaid pour from the same bottle that she used to make Tiffany's drink. Tiffany excused herself to freshen up, and after the barmaid walked away, I grabbed the bottle and poured some into the empty glass. As I suspected, it wasn't vodka, it was plain water. When Tiffany came back, I asked if we could go into the back for a dance. When she sat on my lap, I asked her about the fake vodka. I told her that I knew it was really water. She tried to tell me it was a one-time thing because she's visiting her sick grandma tomorrow and doesn't want to be too hungover. I pressed her and asked her if she'd been getting water shots the entire time we've been seeing each other. She finally admitted that she's a Mormon and doesn't drink alcohol at all. I admit that I got pretty upset about how she lied, so she called the bouncer and I got kicked out. When I tried to go back, I was told that I'd been permanently barred from the club. I told him I wanted to speak to a manager, and he threatened to kick my ass into next week if I didn't leave. I went home and called the club, and the manager answered. I told him I was basically frauded, and that I wouldn't demand my money back for the aborted lap dance. But I wanted a refund on every drink I was tricked into buying for Tiffany. I've been seeing her every Friday and Saturday, plus a few other weeknights from time to time. So even assuming I only bought her 2 drinks on Friday and Saturdays, that puts me at 2 drinks 2 nights a week. 20 weeks equals 80 drinks. Every screwdriver is $12, so that puts me at $960 spent on nothing but orange juice and water. He called me a yutz and hung up, but they haven't heard the end of this. Am I the asshole? I would say, yeah. But I mean, like, it's weird that a Mormon woman is working as a stripper. I didn't think that was allowed. But, I mean, you're going to a strip club. They're generally kind of shady places. I mean, I'm not, like, trying to put the blame on you, but, like, did you expect that everything would be on the up and up? Like, I mean, like, it's a strip club. I don't know. Like, a point of reference I have is The Sopranos. Was that a very, straight and narrow business? You can only assume, like, when stuff like that is involved, you're getting into a little bit more the shady side of, like, just in general, that, like, yeah, you might get ripped off, I don't even go to bars anymore. I'm actually a teetotaler. I think the last time I even went to a bar, not a strip club, never been to one, don't care to. Last time I even went to a bar was like 2013. You're not missing out on anything, but no, you can't just ask for the money back, Though, I think they did kind of rip you off. But, I mean, at the same time, it's like, look at the situation. Like, what did you expect? Alright. Story number 4. Am I the asshole for stalking my boyfriend before we got together? I don't think it's really stalking, or I wouldn't post here, but yeah. He came and spoke to me at a party with some others, probably because I was standing alone. And we talked for a bit, and then he just left. His friends stayed, but he went. He said he'd be right back, but he didn't come back. We didn't speak for long, but I felt the connection to him. We had a lot in common, and I wanted to speak to him more. So I searched up one of the friends' names on Facebook. It had been told to me earlier. I went through it, and I found him in their friends list. His account was semi-public, so you could see some photos and old posts, but not all of them for some reason. I scrolled a bit more and learned some things about him without even meaning to. Then I requested some people in the previous friends list and hoped they'd be friends with him too. And eventually a few of them accepted. I'll admit that I did join some people's Facebook groups and talk to them in there so they would accept. And then we eventually had mutual friends. So then after a week of this, I requested him. He accepted it. I messaged him asking if he was the guy at the party and said how much of a coincidence it is that we already had mutual friends, and he showed up a suggestion for me to add. Maybe this lie wasn't very good, but He said yes, and we started talking. I watched his favorite shows and listened to the music he liked, so we'd have something in common too. I did legitimately enjoy them. I wasn't lying. We then just started talking, and eventually he asked me on a date. And now, we've been in a great relationship for 8 months. I love him a lot. I told a friend this story in passing, and she said it was kinda strange, and she said that I shouldn't have done it. Was it strange? I didn't hurt anyone. I think it's romantic. Okay, so I don't know if I'd call OB the asshole, but that's definitely strange, like manipulative. You know, this episode's full of strange stuff, but it's a bizarre thing to do, but I don't know if I'd call you an asshole. Though I suspect that if you told the boyfriend that, he would find it unnerving. I'm really not sure. I don't know. That's just baffling. Story 5. Am I the asshole for going to gay bars to get hit on, even though I'm not gay? My ex-girlfriend broke up with me roughly 6 months back, and I've finally worked through all that and feel ready to date again, but I get no catches at all. I've tried the dating apps, I've tried meetups, I've tried other bars, and it's like I'm anywhere ranging from invisible to slightly repulsive. It's doing a serious number on my self-esteem. I was hanging out with a couple of friends of mine, and we went to go see a performance we've been interested in, which happened to be happening at a popular gay bar in town. When I was going up to the bar to get us drinks, I noticed I was getting a lot of looks from the guys there. My friends noticed too and were giving me some lighthearted crap for it, but I honestly just felt flattered. It felt really good to be looked at like that. Once everyone was a little drunker, one of the guys at the bar even nudged me and joked about the fact that he knew that I was probably straight because lots of people that don't normally go to gay bars were there for the performance, but that he just had to give it a shot to see. I told him very sincerely that I was super flattered, but I had to get back to my friends. I didn't tell him that I wasn't gay. I guess it didn't seem important to mention since I was turning him down anyway, and he'd already guessed that I was straight. But I've been back quite a few times since. For one, it's a rad bar and the drinks are stellar, but it really does come down to the fact that I'm feeling so low and ugly and unwanted, but there I get checked out and flirted with like I'm hot stuff. It's been a gigantic confidence booster. I casually mentioned this to my sister, and she was completely gobsmacked. She says that's despicable of me to do, and I'm lying to and stringing along people who might have real interest, and I'm using them as helium to inflate my balloon, as she says, and not thinking of them as real people with real feelings. I think she's hugely overreacting. I haven't had anyone get upset at me for my gentle turn-downs, and if it looked like I was seriously hurting someone by doing it, I'd stop immediately. So tell me, am I the asshole? I would say for this one, yeah, OP, you're kind of the asshole. Why would you go to these bars and not, let people know that, hey, I'm straight? I don't know. It just seems to be kind of taking advantage of people in a way that I can't really articulate it. But do you watch and get what I mean? It just seems kind of slimy to do that. I think that if you're going to a gay bar and you're straight, you should just, be open about that so people don't get their hopes up and all that. And I know sometimes you hear about dudes who are like, oh, well, I can turn straight guys gay or whatever. But usually they're just joking. So it just feels kind of dickish to be doing that, I don't know. I'd say OP's the asshole because you shouldn't string people along like that. But yeah, this one was a little bit more bizarre than my usual kind of crop of stories, which are more so on the infuriating side. This one's more perplexing. But I hope that you liked it.